Hello everyone. Welcome to the YouTube channel of St. Wilfrid's College of Arts, Commerce, Science, Panvel. Today the topic is Organizational Behavior in HRM, Part 3. The subtopic is Group Dynamics. Myself, Assistant Professor Tapasya Patil, St. Wilfrid's College of Arts, Commerce, Science, Panvel. Now we will be starting with the individual behavior. Individual behavior can be defined as a mix of responses to external and internal stimuli. It is the way a person reacts in different situations and the way someone expresses different emotions like anger, happiness, love, etc. Yes. Now, what is the individual behavior? It varies from person to person, as we know, basically, it varies. Yes. So, and how exactly the person react towards the situation. If the situation is of that directly somewhere you can see the fire near you, what you behave, whether you behave in a very cool way and can how to come out with from that fire, you find out the way and you stay very cool while that, and you just find the way to come out through that, or you get fear of that, you get threatened of that, you would be you start shivering. Yes. The third thing is the emotion, you start over crying there, or you would not find any way to come out of there. See, this is what the situation of fire and how the individual behaves. Yes, some people could find a way to come out through that, some people could be just an intention and stress, they could show their tension, stress, and can't think of anything, they can't able to think of anything, and some people start over crying over there, and they are just helpless, they give up. Yes. So I just told the three types of person, but there are the various types of person in which in the situation they react. Now I could start with the intelligent question, that is the IQ. Now what is the IQ? It includes qualities like analytical skills, logical reasoning, ability to relate multiple things, and ability to store and retrieve information. IQ test check the through various questions related to reading comprehension, data interpretation, logical reasoning, verbal ability, visual spatial reasoning, classification, analogies, and the pattern detection. Yes, through the IQ test, you can find the IQ level of an individual. The reading comprehension you can give that as a paragraph, and on the paragraph you can give the 3 4 questions based on the paragraph, how he writes that, how he analyzes that paragraph, how he analyzes that case, and how he answers that questions. You can find out that data interpretation is a type of an graph. Through the graphical, on that graph the questions are based, what the answers are there in the graph, and what exactly the individual answers that for the question, that we can analyze it in the IQ. Logical reasoning, somewhat mathematical questions are there. Verbal ability, how he talks. Visual reasoning, yes, how is the vision, we can check. See, in the intelligent questions you can take the various tests as on based on IQ. So it includes the quality as analytical, logical, ability to relate the multiple things. Next, emotional intelligence. IQ includes some key competencies which they have further subheads. Yes, which is self awareness, which includes emotional awareness, self assessment, self confidence, self regulation. Yes. Now, person's emotional intelligence, it depends on basically himself, how he's emotionally aware about himself, how he has done his self assessment, how his self confidence, self regulation, which includes the self control, trustworthiness, conscientiousness, adaptability, innovativeness, self motivation, which includes drive, commitment, initiative, optimism, social awareness, and which includes empathy, service, orientation, developing others, leveraging diversity. Yes, these things considered in the emotional intelligence. How the person is self-controlled, how his trustworthiness, how it has conscientiousness, adaptability, and innovativeness, how it is been considered. Yes, self-motivation, which includes drive, commitment, initiative, optimism. Yes, these are committed. Next, social intelligence. Gardner proposed that there are multiple intelligences, out of which he talked about two important. Yes, now Gardner proposed what? He proposed exactly multiple intelligences, and among that two important, what he stated about what he has been talked are one's intrapersonal intelligence and interpersonal intelligence. Now these are two types of intelligence: intrapersonal and interpersonal. According to him, interpersonal intelligence includes sensitivity towards the mood, feelings, temperaments, and motivations, an ability to cooperate as a part of group. Yes, this is the interpersonal intelligence, which is will include the mood, how people behave through their moods, through their feelings, through temperaments and motivations, and the ability to cooperate as a part of a group. Next, social intelligence is the ability of a person to tune into other people's motivation. Yes, now social intelligence is what? How the people has been tuned in the other people's emotions and read the subtle behavior cues to the choose the most effective response in given situation. Yes, and social intelligence in future, the reason is simple. Well, level every interpersonal interaction has an emotional subtext to do it. Yes, every interpersonal relation have an subtext to do it. Next, we could move with group formation. Now, how the group is been formed? Yes, a group refers to two or more individuals who have come together with a common objective. Yes, more individuals. Group is not of the single person. Yes, two or more individuals who have come together with a common objective. Their objective, their goal is common, and they are together. Yes, just to complete that task, just to complete that objective. The members of the group interact and are interdependent on each other with a view of achieving a particular objective. Yes, members of the group interact and are interdependent on each other. Of course, one person is dependent on another person in the group because everyone's efforts are necessary, everyone efforts are important to be in that group. They should put their 100% for the work with the view of achieving a particular objective. Now, groups are of two broad categories, that is the formal group and informal group. Now, we'll just explain the formal groups. The formal groups are just together to complete the task. Yes, once the task is to be completed, that groups are dispersed, that groups no longer exist. In short, yes, once again I'm saying the formal group, once the task is completed, just they are together for completing the task, particular task which is given by the organization. And once that task is completed, they are dispersed, they are no more, they no longer exist. And informal groups are interest group. Yes, just they are together because they are interested in each other, they interested just to talk. While example I would give of the lunch time. For the lunch time, these people come together. Yes, these are the informal group. As they're willing, they like to lunch with each, to do the lunch with each other. So these are informal groups. In informal groups, the person can be of the any department, and in the formal group, the person basically of the are the of the same departments. Next, the 5 stages of group formation. First is forming stage. This is the beginning stage and lasts only a few days or weeks. Yes. Forming stage is the very beginning stage. Just in this stage, the groups are started to be forming. Members begin by planning their work and their new roles. Yes, members begin by planning their work and their new roles. Moreover, the emotions here are positive. Yes, emotions are positive. The group should begin by learning about team processes in the preparation for the rough times ahead. Next, storming. There exists a considerable amount of fights and arguments in the stage. Yes, once the group have been formed, somewhat arguments been started by taking any decisions or by creating the ideas, by placing the ideas with each other. Some arguments does take place. People begin to feel the stress of frustration. Yes, people begin to feel the stress of frustration, resentment, anger. Moreover, the problem festers and job remains undone. Managers also experience frustration and are worried about the situation. Yes, managers are also, they also experiences somewhat frustration. They also are worried about the situation, thereby are tempted to intervene. Members experience a drastic emotional roller coaster from a relation to depression. Yes, in this storming stage, both the team members and managers also are in somewhat frustration and somewhat stress. Norming stage. In the norming stage, the group works through individual and social issues. Yes, the group works through the individual and social issues. The group establishes its own norms of behavior and begin to trust each other. Yes, in this group establishes its own norms and begin to trust each other. Moreover, as a group develop interpersonal skills, it becomes all the more skilled. Yes, in this the group develops the interpersonal skills. Members begin the art and knack of problem solving. Yes, in this stage somewhere members of the group start solving the problems. They also cross train and learn new and adequate job skills. This stage usually lasts for 4 to 12 months. Next, performing stage. In this stage, group is ready to being performing its respective task and assigned job. Yes, in this stage, the group is ready to begin performing its respective task and assigned job. In this stage, the group has become well acquainted with one another and has clarity with regard to what needs to and has to be done. Yes, in this stage, the group become well acquainted and what exactly needs to be done. They see after that. Performing stage begins when the group is comfortable to work. Yes, performing, if the group is in the performing stage means they are very comfortable with each other and they will surely work in a very coordinated way and ends when the job is completed. Adjourning stage. Post the performing stage. In the post performing stage, the group is adjourned. The adjourning stage ends the process of group formation. Yes, because the group is adjourned once the task that is assigned to the group is completed. Yes, the group is dispersed once the task is completed is the adjourning stage. Again, I'm saying once the work is finished, once the task is done, the group is dispersed. The no longer the group exists is the last adjourning stage. Next, team building. What is team building? Team building creates a stronger bonds among the members of the group. Yes, team building means there are the stronger bonds among the group members. The individual members respect each other. This individual, every individual of that team respect each other and their differences and share common goals and expectations. Team building includes the daily interaction that employee engage in when working together to carry the requirements of their jobs. This form of team building is natural and can be assisted if the group takes the time to come up with a set of team norms. These norms help work members know how to appropriately interact on the team and with the rest of the organization. Next, how does team building work? How it works in the larger organization Organization development staff can lead to the team building session. Yes, OD staff can lead to the team building sessions. That too, you can see in the large organization. Many human resources practitioners are also comfortable leading team building sessions, and with the little practice, teams can use another employee to facilitate group session. Yes, but team building doesn't always have a facilitated meeting to accomplish the goal of cohesive team. You can build your team by structuring activities and fun events that team members can do together. See, team building exactly can work in a very proper way when there is a bonding between the team. And basically, what is the concluding part of this is the team exactly working or the team building sessions you can see only in the larger organization, because the reason is there are the various projects which takes a long time duration of 6 months or one year, and for that a single individual is not been appointed. For that, the number of people like 6 8 10 plus people are being appointed in the group. They have been selected in the group. They have been selected as a team for completing that task, and that too has they have an one leader that could supervise them, monitor them, that how they have been working. So the team building is basically you can see in the larger organization only. So team formation and team building basically done for completing the task in the organization, and that too could be in the two forms, informal and formal. Next is team development image. You can see what is team. It is the interdependent group of employees who unite around a particular task, project, and objective. Yes, as I said, कि just to complete the task, to project or objective, these people are together. You can see in the image. What is team development? Work together towards a common goal. Each member of the team is valuable to the common goal. Yes, to just to achieve the common goal, each and every member is important. Each and every member's role is very important in the team. Though this may sound easy on paper, balancing individual common goals within team is quite difficult, especially during periods of stress, failure, and discard. Now, what are the characteristics of successful team? Mission. Everyone on the team has a clear understanding of what the collective goal is. Yes, everyone knows that what we need to achieve is the mission commitment. Everyone on the team invest their time, energy, and attention into the collective goal. Yes, everyone on the team invest their time, energy, and attention in the collective goal. The three R's. Everyone on the team understands rules, and responsibilities of team dynamic and process, the mechanisms of intergroup communication, decision making, accountability are agreed upon the managed effectively. Yes. So these are the characteristics of successful team: mission, commitment, three R's, rules, responsibilities, and the process. Thank you.